Down goes Roger Stone. Down goes Roger Stone. Oh man, it's been a pretty bad morning for Roger Stone following an indictment by special counsel Robert Mueller. The former Trump campaign strategist was arrested in a early morning raid by, get this, furloughed FBI agents. Oh, that's the best. That's the best thing. Now, the indictment issued by a federal grand jury on Thursday contains 7 counts. 1 count is obstruction of justice, obstructing an official proceeding, 5 counts of false statements, and 1 count of witness tampering. So those are some serious charges, right? Now, according to Vice News, all the counts relate to the Russian-led operation to steal emails from the Democratic National Committee and Stone's communications with Wikileaks, the organization that published those emails. Now, the 24-page indictment claims that Stone made multiple false statements to the House Select Committee on Intelligence about his interactions regarding Organization 1, Wikileaks, and falsely denied possessing records that contained evidence of those interactions. Now, of course, Wikileaks denies this and denies that those emails came from Russian sources. Okay. Now, Stone also has continued denying any wrongdoing, saying, I'm not going to flip on Donald Trump. Wait a minute. If you're saying you're not going to flip on Donald Trump, then what you're saying is, well, I do have information, but you're not going to know. I'm not going to tell you. That seems to be very interesting. Maybe he's holding out for a federal pardon. If, of course, this ends up going to trial and he gets actually convicted. Right now, he's just under indictment. Okay. But it's serious enough to have him get arrested by the FBI. Now, there's more. Stone, as I said before, consistently denied any wrongdoing while having conversations with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Now, Julian Assange is still stuck in the Ecuadorian embassy with no ability to contact the outside world, since they had cut off his internet. Now, the Mueller team claims that in July of 2016, a senior Trump official was directed to contact Roger Stone about any additional releases and what other damaging information WikiLeaks might have had regarding the Hillary Clinton campaign. Now, the indictment does not say who directed the campaign official to contact Stone. However, that official has been identified. It's Steve Bannon. So, Steve Bannon was directed by somebody to go and contact Roger Stone, who had contacts with WikiLeaks. That's what this entire thing is alleging. Fascinating. Gee, I wonder who was directing Steve Bannon to go and talk with Roger Stone. I have a couple of guesses. I'm sure you do as well. Now, the indictment also says Stone spoke to senior Trump campaign officials about WikiLeaks and the information it might have had that would be damaging to the Clinton campaign, adding that Stone was contacted by the same officials to inquire about future releases from WikiLeaks. Now, look, on the emails, I actually think that WikiLeaks was right to release those Clinton emails. Stolen or not, that is information that was really important to the electorate. And look, I'm in favor of journalism. I'm in favor of journalistic freedom and journalistic practice. And look, for all we know, the Russians who did steal those emails, I think it's fairly clear, look, they counted on that and said, well, hey, look, we know of a place that's going to release this. Okay, we know that WikiLeaks will publish these emails because that's what they do. And they will protect their sources as any journalistic outlet would do, right? And if you want to add in, but Jeff, you don't understand. Julian Assange hates Hillary Clinton. To that I say, I absolutely agree. You would be correct. And so he would actually have more of an impetus to damage Hillary Clinton. I mean, she did, after all, threaten to drone strike him. So, yeah, he probably did hate Hillary Clinton, and maybe that had something to do with his judgment here in wanting to target and make sure that Hillary Clinton lost her election. And so that might be, a reason that he helped Donald Trump. So, but anyway, look, the thing about that is, again, Hillary Clinton has a lot of enemies, right? And she's not a very popular person. In fact, she's deeply unpopular, even more so than Donald Trump. Still, nonetheless, Roger Stone was having these conversations, allegedly, about releasing emails with WikiLeaks. And so, I mean, that's really interesting, right? Now, shortly after WikiLeaks, according to the report, published the first bunch of stolen emails from Hillary's campaign, that's John Podesta, of course, that came from his computer, an associate of the high-ranking Trump campaign official sent a text message to Stone that read, quote, "Well done," according to the indictment. So, showing that maybe this was organized and coordinated. That would appear to be a campaign-led effort to have dirt released on Hillary Clinton, using Roger Stone as a liaison to WikiLeaks because he had a conversation and he had contact with Julian Assange to time the release of those emails. This is kind of damning. Now, the document also alleges Stone knowingly and intentionally corruptly persuaded and attempted to corruptly persuade another person to influence, delay, and prevent the testimony of any person in an official proceeding. That would, of course, be the obstruction charge, to which I think is actually really serious. If you're doing obstruction of justice, and then again, if you're lying, right, and that's what this obstruction charge is, well then, that's really, really damaging. Now, here's the thing. Look, I think that obstruction might actually be worse than working to release these damaging emails of Clinton, right? Because again, I think those emails releasing them was an act of journalism and transparency. So I think we had a right to know that about the corruption inside the DNC. I think we had a right to know that the DNC was working to rig the nomination process in favor of Hillary Clinton. So I actually agree with releasing the emails. Nonetheless, this looks really bad for Roger Stone if these charges are actually proven. Now, that other person, by the way, referred to as person 2, was a radio host that had known Stone for a decade. And of course, according to different news outlets, as I told you before, that guy turned out to be Steve Bannon. So, now here we've got Steve Bannon that's probably sweating bullets right now, which I guess is probably not all too different than what he normally does, because he looks like a pretty sweaty guy. Let's be honest about that. Now, seriously though, the indictment does say that Stone told Bannon that they should, quote, do a frank Pentangeli before the Senate Intelligence Committee to avoid contradicting Stone's own testimony. So that, of course, refers to a character in The Godfather, Part 2, who testified before a congressional committee, claiming not to know critical information that he does, in fact, know. So that would be instructing someone to lie to Congress, which would be a crime. And if this entire thing is true, lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Man, I can't contain myself on that. Oh, it's just so good. Now, so here we have another Trump friend and former campaign official being arrested and indicted. And as I said before, the best part of this is here you had FBI agents that were on furlough. They're not getting paid for this, volunteering to go arrest this guy, to arrest Roger Stone. That's just the funniest part of this whole thing. And it's great. But I'm sure Trump has nothing to do with any of this, right? I mean, Sarah Huckabee Sanders says, well, it had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's got nothing to do with me. No, it's the campaign. It's completely separate from Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump's presidential campaign. There were so many people that were caught doing wrong things on his campaign. But no, it's got nothing to do with Trump. He existed in a complete vacuum, and he was so busy trying to make the case to making America great again that he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't know any of this was going on. A promise. I mean, Roger Stone is just a coffee boy. Trump hardly knew him. Roger who? Get ready. That's going to be, I guarantee that'll probably be one of their defenses. And again, I'm sure this won't impact the Mueller case on Trump whatsoever. I mean, again, we had people that were paid that were not being paid do this because they know it will lead to nothing. Wait. Wait a minute. What? So, again, we've got Stone. We've got now Steve Bannon that's implicated. And those people might be in quite a bit of trouble. Grab your popcorn, folks. It's going to get real interesting. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.